Las Vegas, mid-1980s, early morning. A sportsbook manager stands behind the counter, staring at a line that's shifted overnight without explanation. Across the city, the same problem is unfolding. Large bets arrive at precise moments. The timing is exact. The results keep landing the same way. Nothing about the tickets is illegal. The bettors look ordinary. The losses are not. By the end of the season, Las Vegas sportsbooks are down tens of millions of dollars. Casinos begin comparing data across properties. They track patterns instead of names. Everything points to one person, Billy Walters. First, his limits are cut. Then, his action is refused. Then, his name is quietly circulated behind the counter. Every major sportsbook in Las Vegas bans him. The money doesn't stop. Bets continue under different names. The lines move again. The losses continue. The casinos know they're being manipulated. They just can't prove how. The FBI opens a file. So does the Chicago mob. Billy Walters has beaten the house badly enough to draw attention from both. And from that moment on, the hunt for the most dangerous gambler in America had begun. Before we continue, a quick note on today's sponsor. Billy Walters' weapon was always the same, an information edge, turned into action faster than anyone else could react. Penligent works on the same principle. It takes raw security information and turns it into an executable testing chain. You describe what you want to test in plain English, and the system reasons through the steps a human attacker would take, documenting each decision along the way. When vulnerabilities appear, Penligent produces evidence chain reports that show exactly what was tested, how it was tested, and what worked. And for high-risk actions, it pauses and requires human authorization before proceeding. Information moves fast. Execution still needs control. If you want to see how it works, you can try it for free using the link in the description. Now, back to the story. Munfordville, Kentucky, 1946. Billy Walters is born poor. His father gambles, his uncles gamble, his cousins gamble. It's what the men in his family do. His mother leaves when he is young. His grandmother raised him. There's no money. There's no opportunity. By 19, Walters is a divorced father. He sells used cars during the day. At night, he gambles. He loses. By his mid-20s, he owes $50,000. His second marriage is failing. He drinks to forget the losses. The losses get worse. Then, something happens. A pool hall, evening. Walters walks in. He picks up a cue. He holds it wrong. He misses shots he should make. The regulars watch him. They see an easy mark. They start betting against him. The stakes rise. $20, $50, $100. When the money on the table reaches $5,000, Walters stops missing. Every shot falls. The regulars do not understand what is happening. By the time they do, it's too late. Walters walks out with their money. He did not win because he was better. He won because they didn't know he was better. The edge was not skill. The edge was information. From that night forward, Billy Walters stops believing in luck. He starts looking for advantages, hidden ones, edges that let you know something before anyone else does. Kentucky, late 1960s. Walters sells used cars. He's very good at it. He cold calls until his voice gives out. He learns how people make decisions, what makes them trust, what makes them buy. He discovers something. A car is not worth what it costs to make. A car is worth whatever the buyer believes it is worth. He starts buying cars for less than their value from sellers who do not know any better. He sells them for more than they are worth to buyers who think they're getting a deal. The gap between those two numbers is his. By 1969, he earns $56,000 a year, more than doctors, more than lawyers, more than anyone he knows. But bigger money means bigger bets. Walters develops a philosophy. If you look around the room and cannot find the mark, you are the mark. He decides to stop being the mark. He starts taking bets from other people. He copies the odds from larger sportsbooks. He adds a margin for himself. He becomes the house. But there's a problem. In Kentucky, gambling is illegal. Walters is arrested. He's charged. He is fined. The fine is small, but the message is clear. If he wants to operate, he needs to go somewhere else. And this is where Billy Walters makes the biggest bet of his life. In 1971, he puts up his house, the deed to his home, everything he has, all of it on a single game. He loses. His second wife files for divorce. She has watched him win and lose fortunes. She has seen the cycle repeat. She's done. Walters is 35 years old now. 2 marriages gone. No house, no savings, 20 years of gambling, and nothing to show for it. He should quit, but he does not quit. Instead, he stops drinking completely. He decides that if he's going to gamble, he needs to be clear, sharp, in control. He remarries. His third wife is named Susan. She will be his last. In 1983, Walters makes a decision. He packs everything he owns. He moves to Las Vegas. His friends think he's lost his mind, an alcoholic gambler, moving to the gambling capital of the world. But Walters is not going to Vegas to gamble. He's going to war. Las Vegas, 1983. The computer revolution is beginning, but the gambling industry is not caught up. Sportsbooks set odds the old way: gut instinct, experience, incomplete information. A small group of men sees the opportunity. Michael Kent, former engineer, built systems for nuclear submarines. Ivan Mindlin, surgeon from New York. They are smart. They are bored. They want a challenge. They form the Computer Group. They did not own a computer. They were too expensive back then. Instead, they rent time on a mainframe in Maryland, 2,400 miles away.
I got associated with a guy who had an algorithm. I was doing it with a pencil piece of paper, as everyone else was at that time except one guy.
They feed it data, injury reports, weather conditions, coaching patterns, historical results, everything they can find. They build a network across the country, coaches who will talk, trainers who know which players are hurt, local reporters who hear things before anyone else. They focus on college football and basketball. Professional sports have too much coverage, too many people watching. College games have gaps, information that the sports books do not have. The computer processes the data. It calculates the true odds. Not what the sports books think, but what the numbers actually say. When the true odds are different from the sportsbook odds, there's value. Value means profit.
The bigger the difference between the lines, the bigger the discrepancy, the larger bet I make.
But Kent and Mindlin have a problem. They know math. They know computers. They do not know casinos. They need someone who understands how sportsbooks work. Someone who knows which ones take big bets, which ones ban winners, how to move money without getting noticed. They need Billy Walters. Walters does not bring data. He brings execution. He knows how to get the money down. And thus, the partnership begins. During the 1983-84 season, the computer group wins $15 million. The sportsbooks notice. When someone wins that much, the casinos have 2 choices: lower the betting limits or ban the bettor completely. They do both. Billy Walters is banned from every major sportsbook in Las Vegas. He needs a new plan. Walters cannot bet himself, so others will bet for him. He builds a network of runners, ordinary people, casino employees, friends of friends, people the sportsbooks do not know. Some of them, according to rumors, are famous. Bruce Willis, Floyd Mayweather. The names appear in speculation. Nothing is ever confirmed. Each runner works alone. They do not know each other. They do not know how many others there are. They only know one thing: take this money, place this bet, say nothing. Walters gives them code names: Jaybird, Wolfman. He becomes obsessed with secrecy. He worries about surveillance. He suspects people are going through his trash. He gives each runner cash, $50,000, sometimes more. But the runners are not just placing bets. They are moving the market. Here's how it works. A college basketball game is coming up. The computer group runs the numbers. The underdog is mispriced. The real odds favor them more than the sportsbooks think. But the line is not good enough yet. Walters needs better odds. So, he sends runners to bet on the favorite. They bet big. They bet loud. They let people see them. Word spreads across the casino floor. Smart money is on the favorite. Other gamblers follow. They pile onto the favorite. The sportsbooks see all this action. They adjust the line. The favorite's odds get worse. The underdog's odds get better. Now, Walters strikes. A different set of runners, people the first group has never met. They walk into the sports books. They place massive bets on the underdog. $200,000, $300,000, sometimes more. The sports books take the bets. They think the early action on the favorite was the real signal. They think this late money is just noise. They are wrong. The underdog wins. The computer group's analysis was right. The payout is enormous. Walters has not just beaten the odds, he's created them. The casinos know something is wrong. They compare notes, they look for patterns, but they cannot connect the runners to each other. They cannot trace them back to Walters. The FBI starts watching. The Chicago mob starts asking questions. Tony Spilotro runs Las Vegas for the outfit. He's the most violent man in the city. The mob has money in the casinos. Someone is taking it. Spilotro wants to know who. Walters gets the message. He leaves town. He comes back in 1986. Tony Spilotro is dead, found in an Indiana cornfield with his brother, beaten to death, buried in a shallow grave. The mob is no longer a problem. The FBI still is. January 5th, 1985. Before dawn, federal agents pull up to Walters' house. 2 agents go upstairs. They wake him in his bedroom. A 3rd agent is in the kitchen with Susan. Walters is led outside in handcuffs. The morning newspaper is already on the driveway. The headline announces indictments against the computer group. The government's case: the computer group is an illegal gambling operation, organized crime operating across state lines. 17 days later, Walters is in court. He sees his co-defendants for the first time. 16 people. Most of them have never met each other. The compartmentalization worked. The case collapses. The prosecutors cannot prove they are bookmakers. They bet on games. They do not take bets from others. That is not illegal in Nevada. Charges are dropped. Walters walks out a free man. The computer group disbands. The pressure is too much. The members go their separate ways. But the investigations do not stop. 1987. The FBI accuses Walters of money laundering, moving gambling profits through legitimate businesses. No charges filed due to the lack of evidence. 1990. New indictment, conspiracy, illegal transmission of gambling information across state lines. The trial happens. The jury deliberates. Not guilty. 1996. Another investigation. Another accusation of money laundering. Case dismissed. 4 investigations in 11 years. The FBI has devoted entire careers to putting Billy Walters into prison. 0 convictions. Billy Walters is untouchable. The 2000s. Billy Walters is rich. Net worth over $200 million. 8 car dealerships, a golf course, 7 houses, a private jet. He has won more money betting on sports than almost anyone in history. He has losing weeks, losing months. He never has losing years. January 2007, the Rose Bowl, USC versus Michigan. Walters bets on USC. USC wins. Walters wins $22 million in one day. 2010, the Super Bowl, Saints versus Colts. Walters bets on the Saints. Saints win. Walters wins $3.5 million. But the sportsbooks are catching up. They have hired their own mathematicians. Limits are lower. Surveillance is tighter. The edges are disappearing. Walters looks for a new game. He finds Wall Street. Stock trading. If sports betting is a market, so is this. Both reward information. Both punish people who guess. His first trades go badly. Enron, loss. WorldCom, loss. Tyco, loss. Then he finds Dean Foods. Dean Foods, a dairy company in Texas, processes milk, makes cheese. Boring, stable, nothing special. Except Walters has a friend on the board of directors, Thomas Davis. Davis knows things. Earnings reports before they go public. Acquisitions before they're announced. Information that no one else has. Davis calls Walters. They talk about football. They talk about the Dallas Cowboys. Shortly after each call, Walters buys Dean Foods stock. Good news comes out. The stock goes up. Walters sells. This happens again and again and again. Investigators will eventually figure it out. Dallas Cowboys means buy. In 2011, Walters appears on 60 Minutes. He talks about Wall Street. He calls them thieves in suits. Securities regulators watch the interview. They start looking at his trades. They find a pattern. There is another name in the Dean Foods trading records, Phil Mickelson. Mickelson, 5-time major champion, one of the most famous golfers in the world. He and Walters are friends. They play together. They talk often. Mickelson's trades follow the same pattern. The FBI interviews Mickelson twice. He tells them he did not receive inside information. He tells Walters the same thing. He promises to testify in court. Walters believes him. New York, April 2017. The trial is short. The evidence is overwhelming. Phone records. Davis calls Walters. Trading records. Walters buys stock within hours. Press releases. Good news announced. Bank records. Walters sells. Profits deposited. Call, buy, news, sell, profit. Repeat. $32 million in illegal profits. $1 million in losses avoided. Walters needs reasonable doubt. He needs someone to stand up and say the pattern is coincidence. Phil Mickelson could do that. A famous athlete, a respected name, a friend who promised to tell the truth. Walters watches the door. Mickelson does not come. Instead, he invokes the Fifth Amendment. He refuses to testify. He says his answers might incriminate himself. No charges are filed against Mickelson. The SEC settles with him. He pays $1 million, a fraction of what he made. Billy Walters is convicted. All counts, guilty. 5 years in federal prison, $10 million fine. His lawyers appeal. They lose. In 2018, Billy Walters reports to federal prison in Pensacola, Florida. He is 71 years old. 1 year later, his daughter takes her own life. Walters is in his cell when he finds out. He cannot go to the funeral. He cannot hold his family. He believes it would not have happened if he had been free. He does not forgive Phil Mickelson. May 2020, Walters is released to home confinement. January 2022, his sentence is commuted. He is 75 years old. Today, Billy Walters runs a charity, the Billy Walters Center for Second Chances. It helps people who have been to prison start over. He does not bet anymore. The sportsbooks have changed. The algorithms are too good. The edges are gone. Phil Mickelson still plays golf. In 2022, he joined the Saudi-backed Live Golf Tour. His lawyers say his testimony would not have changed anything. Thomas Davis went to prison. He cooperated with prosecutors. His testimony helped convict Billy Walters. Walters wrote a book. He says he did nothing wrong. He says the trades were legitimate. He says the conviction was unjust. No one has proven him wrong. No one has proved him wrong. No one has proved he is telling the truth. Billy Walters spent 50 years finding edges in pool halls, on car lots, in sports books, on trading floors. He beat the casinos. He beat the bookmakers. He beat the FBI 4 times. He could not beat a friend who would not speak. He could not beat a phone record. He could not beat time. The courthouse is quiet now. The prosecutors have moved on. The reporters have found new stories. But somewhere in Las Vegas, in a sports book that banned Billy Walters decades ago, there is a photograph behind the counter. A face the employees are trained to recognize. Billy Walters, the man who proved the house does not always win, until it does.